quickly review this. I can do what you can't do. Okay, you guys, what's the red line? Phoebe, what's the red line? It's got a special name. It's an edge. Which kind of edge? Headsets off. See, I can do that. You guys can't do that. But you can write on your iPad. It's a lateral edge. What about the purple one? This one right here. What's this shape here? This is called the two polygons that are congruent. It's a base. So guess what? That's a base edge. And I haven't looked at the test to know. There probably is going to be some vocabulary on there. TJ? What? Headsets off. We're doing this. Yeah, I know.
What is that?
Later. Okay. What is, does anybody know what that blue line is? Epithem. I know, you have to write it. You don't have to write it because I remember I always save these. It goes right from the middle and it's perpendicular to the side. So if I were, is that a pentagon? Yeah, it is. If I were to draw this, the epithem starts in the center and is perpendicular to the edge.
It's not the face.
No, it's not on the lateral face. By the way, what do you call the orange thing? A lateral face.
Wait, on our test, we're going to go like this.
You might have to name like a lateral face. I'm hoping, hope it's matching instead because it's really hard to grade. And what's the green part called? The base.
Please tell me we're not going to have to do any of those isometric dot paper questions.
I didn't see any when I looked at it.
Oh, thank you.
I like those. They're fun.
So bad at isometric dot paper.
Okay, something else we're going to be doing is I'm going to set up a discussion board. And on the discussion board, I'm going to put some challenge problems. So for those of you who want to do a little bit more with geometry, some of them are going to come from math team. Some of them may come from the ACT. You'd be surprised how much you can do. You might say, I can't do math team, but on the first meet, there were at least 2 problems there that you could do. Well, there's only 4 on an event. It's only 4. You only get 12 minutes.
How long is it?
12 minutes. Okay, so ready? Okay, we're going to do volume.
Yeah, he'd make fun.
Okay. Focus. Volume. What we've done so far is area. And to do, okay, you guys? To do area, you find the area of all the faces. How many faces are on this? Faces, 6. 6. So I'd have to find the area of every face. Volume is a lot easier. Think of this as a parking ramp. This is 4, and this is 3. How many cars can you put on that level? How many cars can you put on that level?
So it's 3 times 4.
12. And how many levels are there? 8. Once I put this up here, though, it kind of gets messy. It's kind of cool. So to find the volume, and you guys, come on, turn.
Isn't the formula just length times height?
If it's a rectangular prism, guys, it's the area of the base. I make my B like that, times the height of the prism. So this is the area of the base, because the base might not be a rectangle. Those of you want to do length, width, height, which is what I did, because that's what it is. It's a rectangular prism. And this is the height of the prism. Now, I use a little h for the height of triangles or parallelograms. It's the area of the base. What's the area of the base here? If I want to show all my work on how I get to the answers, the area of the base is going to be rectangle, base times height. Now that's the little base times the little height times how tall it is. So the base, you're right, is 3 times 4 times how many levels there are. There were 8 levels. So you're right, 96. Now, volume is how many cubes you can put inside there. 96 cubic centimeters. Okay, so area is how many squares you can fit in the space, but volume is how many cubes. So it's just the area of the base times the height. Now you need to know your formulas to find the area of the base. Let's try this next. I gave you one. Yeah, I'll give you another one. So it's the area of the base times the height. I just did that. Yes, it is. It's in the updates. Okay. That's all there is for volume. So it's a lot easier than area, surface area, because surface area you have to figure out the area of each of the faces. Math. Math. Here. Okay. So this one's not too hard. This one's not drawn quite right. Yeah, I trace this out. This edge here should be parallel, so it really should look like that. So the picture doesn't look quite right, but the volume is the area of the base. Hey guys, times the height. And the area of the base is what? 3 times what? 12, and the height is 8. I don't know what it is. How much is it?
Centimeters square or cube to be exact.
Now you know they're not going to be this easy on the test, because you know this. This is old material. What if we have that kind of a prism? What's that called? Cole? What's this called? Very good.
5 times 8 times 9 divided by 2.
I don't know. I might have a plan here in a second.
1 8 times 7.
Okay, so the volume is the area of the base times how tall it is. Well, the shape of the base is a triangle. That's the base. It's sitting on the base. It doesn't always have to sit on the base. And this is 5, and this is 8. So it's 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle times the height of the prism. Because sometimes what happens is you forget to multiply by one of the numbers. So it's 1/2. The base is what? 5. 8 times 9. Now, you guys, I don't use a calculator, and I made a mistake on the homework. I'll have to fix it, upload it again. But it's just a numerical error. But what I do is I multiply these out. Yes? The base and the height are always connected by the little square. Then you can't do it. You have to have the square. And sometimes we make mistakes when we draw the pictures, and you'll have to make an assumption. But, okay, now I can't do 1/2 of 5, but I can do, shh, guys, you have problems with these, so I'm going over it. It is not distributive property. I can do 1/2 of 8, which is 4, and then I can multiply those together. So it's 20 times 9. I don't need a calculator. It's 180 cubic centimeters. If you want to get better at arithmetic, then don't use a calculator unless you need to. It's not distributive. Some of you are distributing, and that's getting you in trouble. Yes, but then I'll probably have to use a calculator. I don't need a calculator, but you guys do. Because that's 360, 1/2 of 360 is 180. But I can do that in my head because I do it a lot.
Okay, because I thought you said that, that's the right way to calculate it.
Oh, I could take 1/2 of 8. I could take 1/2 of 5, but then that's 2.5, and I don't want to multiply that in my head.
Okay.
That's not easy. Okay, the next one's trickier. What's that called? That's called a trapezoidal prism. So I'm going to find the area of the base. This is the base. It's not sitting on its base. That wasn't what I was pulling out. There it is. Okay, so this is 12. How big is this upper base? That's 8, and the height is 4. So the volume is the area of the base times the height. When you look at my solutions, it should be clear what I'm doing. Now, do you guys remember the formula for the area of a trapezoid? Half. Well, 1/2 times the sum of the bases is the average, times the height of the trapezoid. That's the trapezoid. And then we're going to multiply by the height of the prism. And now all I have to do is put the numbers in. That's all there is. So it's 1/2. My bottom base is 12. The top base is 8. Now, if I want to take the 1/2 through there, I do have to use distributive property, but I'd rather add first, then I don't have to distribute. The height of the trapezoid is 4, and it looks like the height of the prism is 10. Is it easy to lose a number?
No.
Yeah, it really is. You might forget one of the heights. Now, what's 12 plus 8? 20.
It's not easy to write down.
If you write the formula down, then you're going to do better. Now, we don't need a calculator for this, because what's 1/2 of 20? Okay, you guys. 10. 10 times 10 is 100, times 4 is 400. You don't need a calculator. If they're easy numbers like this, then practice without using a calculator. Ready? What's that called?
That's a triangular prism.
Okay, so the volume, I don't know, is the area of the base times the height. One. Here's the reason, you guys. When you are taking, one reason, when you take the ACT, SAT, it's a time test. It takes you longer to do the calculator on that last problem than it does to do it by hand. Just do it.
Really?
It does me. And it's easy to push the wrong buttons on the calculator. So now I need to find the area of my triangle. Notice that I have a little square here. Let's pull that out. There it is. How big is this side? 3. Why do we need a calculator? How big is this side? 8. Now that's the base and the height of the triangle.
Oh, and you do the...
So it's 1/2. The base is 3. The height is 8. And now how tall is the prism? It's not sitting on the bases, but it's this length, and that's why that square is there.
10 centimeters.
It's 10. So I'm going to do 1/2 of 8. I'm not going to do this in my head with a calculator. 4 times 3 is 12, times 10 is 120 cubic centimeters. Yeah, you'd be surprised. And the more you do it without using a calculator, the faster you will get. And by the time you've gotten your calculator out, I'm on to the next problem. Okay, I think this is the last one. Yes. This is a blank, and then these are the homework. When you get to the homework problem, this one in particular, let's just talk about that before I let you try that last problem. These are the values for the B, B2, H, and R. There's no R. And the capital H is 20. These are different problems, but instead of labeling these sides here, they just gave you the same numbers for all 3 problems. So it's 3 problems to do. Some people were confused by that. That's in your homework. That's a homework. That's a homework. And let's try, you guys try the last one. What's the volume?
I have it for you.
Area of the base times the height. Now what's the shape of the base? Trapezoid, so it's 1/2. Yes, you should get 650. I'm going to walk around and make sure that you got this. Okay. Then you're to work on your homework. I'm going to come and mark off lessons 2 and 3 because I didn't do lesson 2 yesterday and get that all caught up.